Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check. Check 26. Check 26. Check. Crunch.
They'll run on first down. Jefferson. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford, the intended target, T.J. Hockenson. But now it'll be 3rd down.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Monday. 19-2, he's coming. Hey, Wahoo. Leroy.
From the gun, here's Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Gold is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set, ready. Just a big work. Come on. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Check. 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 Check 99. Boom. Sit up. Check 6 guys. Whip. Watch the whip. Check 37. Check 37.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Yeah,
Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
On second down, Cook. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. A first carry now for Thompson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6 at the 40-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Second and 6. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
19 yards that time for number 19.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Forced out to his left. Incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Byrd. Found his target. It's Anderson. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And a a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on now, let's go.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the screen. Middle. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Hey.
Throwing again. Stafford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Here we go. Let's go.
On first down, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. About 7 yards deep.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that they're affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On first down, Byrd. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll... Lead to 3rd down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Byrd. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. This will be from 49 yards out. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Vikings 14, Lions 3. Brett Maher on for the field goal.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
At the 28-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Here we go.
Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage. A little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check it back. Check it to 6.
Cook. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey. 6. Mike 40. Check. He's coming. Bound to lose one.
2nd and 14. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He's going to look deep down the field. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Hey, alert 3.
They run. Cook uses the stiff arm. Cook able to escape. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Switch.
To throw on second down. Byrd. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
Here we go.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Double up. He's coming, double up. Check. Lucky.
Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. 20! And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robbie Anderson, his third touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Looking to throw. Reynolds, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Reynolds throwing deep for oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit Bader. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Reynolds. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Reynolds. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. The crazy sequence here, a huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
You can't block me. Off.
Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We'll go Mike 40, Mike 40.
I'm coming up.
On 4th down, Reynolds. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
At the 50-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
We got 4.
Check.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 9, check 9.
Switch. 25, check 25.
Now a run with Cook. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Titans on the Ringo.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Set, hey, 60 outlaw. 40 the mic. Watch the curl.
SOS. Watch the edge.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming.
Hey, check 24. Watch twist.
Check 3.
Kill.
Now Cook running right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw. Byrd. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Switch. He's checking. Crash.
Check 50. 50.
Cook following the penalty. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Here we go. 60 yards. 51.
Coming to you.
Zoom.
Looking to throw. Byrd. A deep ball for Dotson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Check. Go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Byrd. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
He gets this one away here. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Watch the ball. 57 to Mike. 50.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Yeah, 15-90. 40's Mike. It's a party now.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Reynolds. He's going to fire one deep. And got his man complete. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Check three. 80 weapon.
Back to throw. Reynolds. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's third down.
Right here, right here. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. We got three, fellas. We got three. 40's the mic. Squeeze. Same on. Kill.
Operating from the gun. Reynolds throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. On fourth down, Reynolds. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop it for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Mike 22, he's coming. Mike. On the ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Reynolds. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions gain a bit of respectability. Gold able to tack on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Open man is Anderson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run again on first down. Cook. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On second down, this is Madison. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The kick by Maher is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
There he goes left side, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gold with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27.
44, Lions 17.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
You got tape. You got 61.
Again, it's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And all the way up to the 46. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a gain of 20. And the Vikings first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as... He's got a man! Complete! 39 yards there. A big one. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Looking to throw. Reynolds, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So after the sack here, 2nd and 14.
Back to you. I'm going. Let's go. Like 22.
Back to throw. Reynolds. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Mike 22, Mike 22. Will. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Check 26. Let it go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Reynolds. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.